Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to another brand new live episode of the Jon and Wendy Show here on Twitch. I am the Outlaw John Rocha. Over there is Wendy Lee. Wendy, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing so good. I can't believe it's like another weekend already.
Right? I was thinking that this morning. I'm like, didn't we just do the show like 2 days ago? How is it already 7 days later? It was pretty insane. But that's how busy things are getting now, Wendy. We're knee deep in the summer.
Yeah, I don't like the weather of it. Like people are like, oh, I love the summer, hot girl summer. And I'm like, I bring back the 70 degrees. Bring back the sweaters and the cozy stuff.
Yeah.
It's just, it gets hot in the valley.
Oh, yeah. It gets
hot
I'm
sure
down
where
here,
you are. Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It gets hot here. And then at night, it cools off like a mofo. But from about 10 or 9, depending on how hot it's going to be that day, to about 4 or 5 o'clock, it's a scorcher. And then boom, all of a sudden it starts to really come down. And you can wear a light vest as you take a walk around the neighborhood. So it's cool. It's a good combo for sure. It's the daytime though where it gets hairy, not at night. Certainly in the day. What's your new shirt? You were saying before we got on camera. What's your new shirt?
Yeah.
What is that?
I went to a launch party yesterday at Universal Studios, and
nice.
It says here Minions and Vic. And this is the second collaboration from the graphic artist Verdi, who is a Japanese graphic artist. Okay. And it's the second collab with the Minions. So I'll show you guys the back.
Wow.
Actually, I don't know, this way. Can you see that?
Yes. So is Vic a new character? Or is
Vic is an original character by Verdi. Okay. And Verdi has worked with so many brands like Instagram, Nike. Wow. He's really well known for his Human Made collection, his Girls Don't Cry collection, Wasted Youth. So when they're like, hey, do you want to come? I'm like, yeah, it was a cool vibe, like to see his character like Vic in a mascot character, like on the yellow carpet. I was like, all right, that's cool. So for anyone who's followed his like journey, it's really, really incredible.
And of course they have a yellow carpet that makes all kinds of for Minions, of course.
And they have a new Minion mascot. I haven't seen it around the park because the last time I went, I just saw the regular the Minions that I am very familiar with. This one, the eyes move.
Ooh,
they can go like this. They can like they can actually look at you.
I've been thinking about coming up next week and making a day of it at Universal Studios, because now that the special effects show is going to be coming back, I'm not sure when it's coming back, but I know my boys, like Shannon is one member of the special effects show. He's one of the actors. So he, and so he's been doing it for a long time with Eric Norris and Kalinowski and all those people there. Oh gosh, I forget the girl's name, the redhead girl that I know that is with this dating Paul Preston. She's a part of it as well. So it's a nice little like community of people that I know. So I want to see it, but maybe I need to wait a few days or a few weeks because I think it's not going up until later on this.
Eric posted about it.
Yeah, he did. He was pretty excited about it.
I think it's coming back. I think in a couple weeks because they gotta do it in time for summer.
Right. Exactly.
So let's see what Eric says. Eric says coming. Oh no, it just says we're back.
Oh, so maybe it is already back.
Damn, I missed it by like a week.
Let me ask Shannon here. I'm gonna text. I just texted him real quick. So
I love that show so much. It's grown so much. I remember it was a little bit older. Like the script, the writing was just as things. So they started updating a little bit more, and then they started doing the fire thing, which I don't remember it always being a thing for the being lit on fire, but now that's like a part of it, which is crazy because there's a lot of prep that goes into it.
Yes, a lot of
I think a lot of people. I was watching the Waterworld show, and for anybody, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the Waterworld show at Universal, somebody does light themselves on, or gets lit on fire, and takes a plunge of I don't know how many feet into the big pool, into the set. And a lot of people thought it's the same actor who plays Deacon. Oh. And I'm like, oh no, that was like no, the actor who is I was like, it has to be two people because the amount of prep. That you have to, even for lighting somebody on fire for 30 seconds, if you don't prep, this person's going to get real hurt real bad, real fast, because they stay lit for like 30 seconds.
It's lit. That's for sure. He is lit.
Oh, no, not 30 seconds. That's a long time. Like, I think 9 to 10 seconds.
Yeah. And, but it's also, it is related to the Kevin Costner film, Mr. Yasman 300. Absolutely, it is. And it's been going strong longer than the Kevin Costner film. That ride has been, or that attraction has been at Universal Studios for decades. And it's certainly one that people look forward to. And you have to audition and really fight to be a part of that show because there's a strong commitment. Like I remember I auditioned for it before I got the Wand Keeper stuff, like a year before I auditioned for it. And it was, you had to shave your head. So if you were going to do it, you had to shave your
because
head.
you're in water, so they can't bald cap you.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you're the deacon. That's just no questions asked. They can shave your head. And then, of course, with Terminator, you audition for Terminator, you have to have a certain look and a certain size, and so it's all those different things you have to go, but they go on forever. They eventually shut the Terminator one down, but Waterworld is still rolling. So it's pretty incredible. And it's good. It's good pay for the actors as well. It's a nice chunk of change for sure.
It's a taxing job, but it's a good job. Also, if you go to the show, if you come to Universal Studios Hollywood, because I don't think they have this in Orlando, make sure when can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Make sure when you guys go, if you don't want to get wet, don't sit in the splash zone area, and the benches are colored green.
Right.
They'll repeat it several times. And I say this because when we went, I obviously opted for seating a little bit higher up. I think for me, it gives me a better vantage point to look at the show, but I also didn't want to get soaked because pre-show, they will, take buckets of water and they'll dump it on you if you're in those seats. And they announce it several times before the show starts. Like, if you're in the green seats, you're getting wet. If you don't want to get wet, move now. And there is somebody who got wet, so upset. They didn't even look like they got that wet, to be honest with you. Right. Like, drier than it's water.
Yeah.
It was a hot day, too. It was like 90. So somebody didn't listen to the instructions, got mad, had a beer, and threw it at the performer.
Oh, no.
And immediately the PAs came up and was like, "Sir, we don't do that here." But then she kind of looked at him, and then she called on the radio. And I leaned over to Dustin, and I said, "This guy and whoever he's with today, this is the last thing they're doing in the park." Sure enough, as soon as the show ended, security was waiting at the exit, was like, "Goodbye.
Let's go, pal." Yeah.
Don't do that.
No, don't do that. You understand?
They didn't even get up until halfway through the show because the girlfriend was upset. She's like, "I'm all wet," and I was like,
yeah.
Where were you the last 10 minutes?
Children, man. Children posing as adults. It's so frustrating when you get it. It's a park. Go and have some fun, for God's sakes. Take the pole out and have some fun. Shannon says that it is scheduled to open on July 1st. He just texted me that.
Oh, nice.
So the rehearsals are every day until then. So there you go. So they really want to put on a great show. And it's been 800 days since that show was at Universal Studios, which is kind of crazy to think about. So it's great that it's going to be coming back for sure. Probably in a new revamped format as well, Wendy. They just revamped it a few years ago. They're revamping it again, it seems like, probably. I know they have some time away from it. So, but that's not what we're here to talk about. But
sorry, guys.
We're living our Universal Studios days. But shout out to everybody who's joining us right now. MK Songbird, Steve Calderon, M3 @_boy. He said, "I didn't know Rocha had a Twitch channel." Well, now you do. Thanks for joining. BC Knight, Mr. Yazman 300, and Josh Mabry's in here. JD Mabry 826. He said, "I'd never been to Universal Disney. I went to the lake instead. I was obviously deprived as a child. First world problem. Stand up." Respect. But we're going to get into everything that's going on in the world of entertainment here. Some breaking news and some news that's been big through the week. So we're going to talk about it all here on the show. Make sure you leave your cheers and your bits. You send them in and send in your Streamlabs. See the address there above both Wendy and our heads there. The Streamlabs address. Send it in, and we'll read it here on the show and answer your questions. And support. Hey, it's Friday. Support us. Have some fun. Let your pockets be a little free and support what we got going on here, damn it. And also subscribe and sign up for any of the tiers you can here for the Outlaw Nation Twitch channel. All right, Wendy.
You get our faces as emotes.
That's right.
On Twitch.
As emotes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Perfect. Where shall we go first?
Well, we all say he knows nothing, but he knows something. He knows enough to garner a sequel on HBO post, what we know now as Game of Thrones. He's back. So it looks like the show is in early development for this, and it's going to be the spinoff of Jon Snow. And this news broke, I think, sometime yesterday. So Kit Harrington, as you see here in the photo, will be reprising his role if the series moves forward. So I think this is very early in development. Sometimes things shift, actors' schedule can change or whatever it may be. but we will see where do they take this story. I'm very, very curious. I kind of would have been okay with them leaving, these legacy characters not behind, but alone for a little bit. And let us focus on some of the other ones, which was like why I'm excited to see like the House of Targaryen. But I think exactly. But I think with this show, hopefully, if it really follows after season 8, it'll give us also another look at where Sansa and Arya are as well.
Right. Yeah, it's just fascinating. I mean, because as you said, we've got that prequel coming, and there are 7 separate Game of Thrones productions in the pipeline, people. I don't know if you guys know. 7. Now with this one, there are 4 live action and then 3 animated ones.
That's right.
Those are the ones in motion right now. Let me read them real quick here. It's at the bottom of the article. They've got the 10,000 Ships, which is also known as Nymeria, with Amanda Siegel as showrunner. 9 Voyages, also known as the Sea Snake, with showrunner Bruno Heller, who is a very well-known showrunner, and Dunk and Egg with showrunner Steve Conrad. So now you add this to the mix here with the Jon Snow show, and then they've got 3 animated prequel projects, including the Golden Empire, which is set in the China-inspired land of Yiti. So just interesting stuff to explore here with Game of Thrones. But I also feel like, Kit hasn't really been doing much that we've seen. Yes, he's the Black Knight in Marvels. He was in Eternals. We don't know what he's going to be doing in that, but I haven't seen him lead a series or be the star of anything. He's shown up occasionally, but he hasn't really kind of take the world by storm. Same thing with Sophie Turner. Same thing with Maisie Williams. So I wouldn't be surprised. And remember, at the end of season 8, spoiler, we find out what his real name is, and we find out that he could possibly have done this. So there's all kinds of possibilities to play with Jon Snow. So what will he do? Because we saw him, going off with the wildlings. What's that all about? Brienne of Tarth is still around. Gwendolyn Christie could have something to say. New characters are going to be a part of this. But where are we going to go with this? Is he just going to build his life out here? Is he going to get a wife? Is he going to have kids? Or is he going to see that stuff is falling apart in Westeros and turn right around and start the process of heading towards the throne? So will that happen? So there's all kinds of stuff that could happen here when it's all over. Because, people hated the end of Game of Thrones. People hated who they gave the throne to at the end of Game of Thrones for the most part. So will that be a situation here that they explore in the show? So I'm very curious, Wendy, that they're doing this and why they're doing this. And do you think it's about maybe washing the taste out of people's mouths for season 8 of Game of Thrones? Because that was billed as the end of the story, but it sounds like it's not.
Yeah, if they don't do a time jump and they do it as a sequel, like a true sequel, right? Not just a spin-off.
Yeah.
Then potentially, because there's so many people that were unsatisfied, myself included, with that final season. And this is us spending years with these characters, investing in it. And I think obviously partially the problem, and I know people say like, oh, they work with George R.R. Martin on this and et cetera, but the book wasn't finished. So they could only follow it so far, and so they started to take a license with the rest of the series. Yeah. So I, till this day, wonder how different would that ending be had George R.R. Martin finished the book? Because supposedly he says like he knows how it ends.
Right.
But then I don't think he gave that away to the showrunners because he wants that revealed in his books.
Right.
We just don't know when the book's going to be out. So I wonder if this is, I actually hadn't thought of it that way, but it could be a way to be like, hey, so here's some more of stuff that you used to like. And, like I remember, what was it? The Battle of the Bastards or something like that?
Battle of the Bastards. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Like if we could do more of stuff like that.
Yeah.
That'd be, I would watch. I probably will watch it regardless. I give it a first few episodes before I see how it is. But my first knee-jerk reaction was, do we need this? Sorry.
I think a lot of people felt that way about it. They're like hitting the wall of like, do we really need to see this? Is there a real motivation for this to put this on the screen? So is there a story that people want to tell? I mean, because I have seen the reactions of people online. It hasn't been 100% like, yay, it's coming back. It's been more of a like, do we really want to do this? It's been that kind of a reaction. So that's not a positive reaction for people to have for something.
No,
like this.
it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you would want people to be like, oh, Jon Snow, count me in. You have my sword and my axe, or whatever it is that's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But you know, but when I first saw it, I was like, oh, I am intrigued. I'm really intrigued.
You're curious, if nothing else.
I'm curious, but I'm gonna be like just cautious about it.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
And I think we have a picture of George R. writing the last.
Oh my gosh!
Right, finishing the book. I think he's finished the book. And they all died at the end.
They all died at the end. Gosh, remember in the very beginning, for those of us who didn't read the book, and we meet the Starks, we're like, yeah, let's go Team Stark.
Team Stark.
And then very quickly we're like, oh no, you don't root for anybody on the show.
No,
you don't dare to root for anybody just in case they die.
The Red Wedding. I've still trauma from Red Wedding. I mean, no lie. I'm not trying to make fun of trauma, but I was traumatized.
It was so shocking.
What happens to Omar in The Wire and that moment in Game of Thrones, those are the two most recent traumatic moments I've had watching a television show.
It was insane.
Insane. Absolutely insane. So
truly insane.
Yeah, they certainly know what to do. But I think they're just about, I think they're just about like, kind of making people forget about season 8. So if they do 2 or 3 good seasons of this, then great, So we'll see. We'll see. Unfortunately, Daenerys had to die so that Jon Snow could walk. Sadly,
that was also disappointing. What they did to her character.
I mean, super disappointing.
What they did to a lot of the characters, like looking back at it now.
Yeah.
Just thinking back to the ones that I can vividly remember, I'm like, oh man, what happened?
Yeah.
With the spider too. Remember what they did to his character?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Anyways, so I guess we'll see. We'll keep an eye on this.
Yeah.
If there's updates, we'll update you here.
Just because they say it's happening doesn't mean it is happening. Wendy's absolutely right at the beginning of this, introducing this, because they have said a million things, and then these things just kind of go. Naomi Watts' one went completely nowhere, so it doesn't matter who they've got attached. If it doesn't work, HBO's not going to go forward with it. So
yeah.
All right. Let's see. We don't have any bits or cheers yet, so let's move on to our next story here. What do we got?
I know you talked about this yesterday with Jeff, but really, really curious about your take on this. I specifically didn't watch you guys' show yesterday because I didn't want to hear what you had to say about Joker 2. Now, you and I have talked about how, like, there's a script, there's a picture of Joaquin Phoenix reading the script. And now here's the update. Lady Gaga in early talks to be in part 2. Nothing is confirmed. We don't really know exactly what role she'll play, although everybody is chalking it up to one Harley Quinn or Dr. Harleen Quinzel, which I think is a little bit more likely. But the other thing is that Deadline says, according to their source, that the second part to Joker is meant to be a musical. Now, John, you and I both like musicals. You have this huge love for The Greatest Showman.
I do.
Yes. And you and I feel differently about that movie because I love all the performances, but I don't like the structure of the movie. Yeah. Performances numbers aside, because those are like ace.
Fair enough.
So you love musicals. I love musicals. What do you feel about if they indeed were to make this Joker 2 into a musical?
There's a great line in a British sitcom. Blackadder goes forth. It's the 4th season of Blackadder with Rowan Atkinson. And he's about to be executed, right? And he thinks he's going to get a letter. He's so confident he's going to get a letter. He doesn't care. He's going through the motions with the firing squad as they're telling him what they're going to do. And they ask him if he wants a blindfold. And he goes, no, I don't need one. Because he's so confident he's not going to get shot. He's just playing along with it. And the guy says to him, well, sir, I've got to admire your balls. And he said, well, perhaps later. So I think that's what I feel with Todd Phillips. I've got to admire your balls or your guts for putting this out there and saying, I'm going to do the second movie as a musical. And I'm going to bring Lady Gaga in as Harley Quinn. So all the people, Vogel said it best on Geek Buddies. He said, all the people who wanted the sequel are now like, and all the people who didn't want the sequel are like, oh. So it's kind of a genius move by Warner Brothers to get to expand the audience of a film that did make over $1 billion, but expand the audience of who's going to come see this thing. So I think it's kind of genius, to be honest with you. Mad genius, like the Joker of Todd Phillips, to do this. And look, Gaga having the chance to use all her tools as a singer, dancer, and actress now, and you know she's going to make music for the film. I think it's a great opportunity for her to keep laying the groundwork to heading towards that Oscar, because I think that's inevitable. I don't think it's a question anymore.
Well, he won an Oscar for this role.
Well, he won for Joker, so why wouldn't you think it's possible for her to win this? So to me, I think it's kind of genius if they can pull it off, to be honest with you. And you know, it was kind of Scorsese influenced, the first movie. So what musical influence will he have here? Will this be a cabaret situation? Will we get some Sweeney Todd vibes? What kind of darkness in terms of musical will we explore in this film? So I'm very, very curious. And like you said, there was already a picture of Joaquin reading the script. So the script's essentially almost done if Joaquin's already reading
good enough for him to actually take a look at it. Yeah,
exactly, Wendy. So this could be very, very. And now you go, who's going to write the music for it, right? It can't just be Gaga writing everything. That's pressure.
Yeah.
So, what do you think?
I think, well, she will definitely have, you know, I think it was her music at the end of Top Gun.
Yes, her song,
and it's really fantastic. I think if she's involved, she for sure is doing like the end credit song or something like that on the soundtrack.
No doubt.
For sure. I don't think she has, as talented of a person she is, time is not going to be that available to her, because if she's in a role opposite Joaquin Phoenix and she's got to do at least a song, and you're going to ask her to write the music for the rest of the, like, no, she doesn't have time for that. They'll get a composer, somebody, you know, really great with telling stories through musical cues.
Yeah.
My thing is this. I love musicals.
Yes.
I love them. I love West Side Story. I love La La Land. I love parts of The Greatest Showman.
And I love parts of La La Land. Go ahead.
There you go. Yeah. Yes. So like the musical components of it, you know, the costume, the choreography, the way they shot it and everything, things like that. My thing is like, how many songs do you have in a film make it equal and classify it as a musical?
Yeah,
right?
Good point.
So if it's like 1 to 2 songs, then like, okay, I guess we can, but if it's just like one musical moment, you can't call that a musical.
A great point. I didn't even think about it that way.
So
how many songs qualify as a musical?
In a film, like how many songs did Love? So
4 to 6 main theme tunes are considered a musical.
There you go. So I'll give you guys a really bad example. Okay. Hugh Jackman played Captain Hook in the movie Pan.
Oof.
They had 2 songs.
Yes.
I didn't like that movie. Just just to put that out there. I saw it and I was like, what is this? I love the actors, but just the way they presented it wasn't. Anyways, they only had 2 songs in that film, I believe. And that does not classify it as a musical. No. So I just don't see them. I don't know, man. I don't have a problem with them really if they want to do it. Like, first of all, I think Joker standalone was fine. We don't really need a follow-up. But
we didn't. We
didn't. But if Todd Phillips and Joaquin both feel like this character, they can take it a little bit further and give it more insight.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? They like really hit it out of the park with the first one. So I would be curious to see more. Lady Gaga cast in the movie, playing whoever she may play. For like a conversation's sake, we say she's playing Dr. Harley Quinzel.
Yeah.
Fine. She's a fine actress. Saw her, perform in A Star Is Born, in House of Gucci, American Horror Story Hotel. Like really, really fantastic. Very committed. So I can actually see her being a part of this world.
Right.
The musical part is where it kind of doesn't match, because like the first movie didn't have any of that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a musical other than maybe the staircase dancing scene, but that's also a moment.
And also in the bathroom.
Yes, and also in the bathroom.
Right.
So I guess if they want to further expand on that, and if they use the musical portion of it as sort of what's inside Arthur's head, or maybe inside her head even, that could work as a part of storytelling.
Yeah.
But like I don't want Joaquin to just like out of nowhere like burst into song. Like I think that's weird unless we make it a daydream sequence.
Batman. Yeah, exactly. You're not sure if they want that. But they're playing with. I like this question from Steve Kelder. My concern for Joker 2, will it have the same success? make it $1 billion worldwide, and get Best Picture and Best Acting nods like the first one. I understand the concern, but the fact that they were able to make $1 billion, get it nominated for Best Picture, get Joaquin Phoenix an Oscar, and the composer an Oscar, they're already playing with house money. So, you know, this is, let's see how far we can push this madness out there. And I have a feeling that if Todd Phillips sees something here that works, considering how everybody told him not to make this film, and everybody questioned even the making of the film when it was happening, and it made $1 billion, I think he's earned a certain level of trust to see what he's going to be able to create here with this sequel in a musical format. Taking all your points into consideration as well, Wendy, you're absolutely right. What is going to be the structure of how they do this musical, right? Is it going to be organic within the flow of a conversation, or is it going to be abrupt switch into a song? That's going to be interesting for sure.
Yes. And I know people are already like up in arms about what is it called? That Lady Gaga could be a Harley Quinn, and they're like, Margot Robbie is better. And I'm like, do you guys not realize that they're in two different worlds within this DCEU?
Two different complete interpretations.
Margot's always going to be Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
She's always going to be known as Harley Quinn, but there's not, like, we have how many Batmans, so we can't have two Harley Quinns.
Right. And Margot's Joker is Jared Leto. Sorry, people, that's canon. Margot's Joker is Jared Leto.
It's been established.
Yeah, it's been established. No matter what you want to say, it's Jared Leto.
Lady Gaga or another actress being cast as Harley Quinn takes nothing away from Margot Robbie and her performance as Harley Quinn.
Kaylee Cuoco.
Only if you let it in your head.
Exactly.
You know, let there be two.
Exactly. The rule of two, for God's sake.
The rule of two.
If you will.
In the metaverse, they can all meet. It'll be great. It'll be the animated one, the Gaga version.
Oh my God.
That is a movie I will watch.
Absolutely. Night of the Quins. All right. So I don't see any Streamlabs or cheers or bits. So let's move on to our next thing here. We got a little Ana de Armas news, Wendy. What's this all about?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I only saw this because I was scrolling through my Instagram, and I was like, what? I wasn't even aware that she had been cast as, and maybe I did once upon a time, but I definitely didn't recall when I saw the news. So she's going to be in the movie called Blonde, directed by Andrew Dominik. And she is portraying the one and only Marilyn Monroe. This is going to be, it looks like NC-17 rating. We do have a teaser trailer. So essentially right here, as you guys see, our very first image of Ana de Armas as Marilyn Monroe. She's been doing so much. Like from, I don't recall seeing her, knowing of her before Knives Out and like loving her in Knives Out, and was like, I will see every single movie she's in. I think she's really phenomenal. I will say this, just looking at the picture, I think she looks really beautiful. But to me, she didn't disappear into the Marilyn image, right?
Right.
Just because Marilyn, her face is so iconic. It's literally, you know, it's like a pop icon that she's. So it's kind of ingrained in my brain. I will say though, I looked at the teaser trailer, and you know how they're like, oh, she's coming, she's here, and then she looks in the mirror, she does that laugh.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
You're kind of in now.
It's just mimicking someone's laugh isn't an easy thing to do. You can mimic someone the way they talk, the way their voice sounds. A laugh is really hard.
Yeah.
Like fake laughing is one of the, like, I am not good at fake laughing.
Right.
That's something I had to go and learn for acting, because I was like, I sound fake.
Okay.
So, I was like, well, all right. I'm very curious.
Let's take a look at a little bit closer. I mean, here's the thing. And listen, Matt Nose gives me shit about this all the time on the top 10, and I have to be fair in my assessment of it all. And the thing is, I have an unhealthy support for Marilyn Monroe, and by that I mean I have never seen anyone exude or capture the essence of Marilyn Monroe. Anyone, not Michelle Williams in My Week with Marilyn, not Naomi Judd in that HBO film from years ago with, I think, not Jason Priestley, the other guy, I forget, the one who passed away recently, Luke Perry. With Luke Perry, I think he's in that. And certainly not here from this trailer with Blonde. So This to me feels like what we got with Pablo Larraín when he did the Spencer film with Kristen Stewart playing Diana or Natalie Portman playing Jackie. They're trying to capture like a little bit of a fever essence of it all. And look, Ana de Armas is sexy as hell, but she's a waif. She's a size 0 or 1 at best. Marilyn at her heyday for the 1950s was a size 10? 12, 16.
12.
16, but of course sizes have changed now for women. So I was reading an article yesterday about it, and she would be a size 8 right now.
Okay.
In comparison. So that's still, you know, bigger than Ana de Armas. So for me, if you're going to do Marilyn, it's so essential to capture the voluptuous sexiness of her. Now, it doesn't mean that Anna can't capture her essence and the fear and the pain and the struggle and the stress and the pressure that she was under, which it feels like that's what Andrew Dominic is doing, because it's in black and white. You're seeing that he's saying that it's NC-17 because there's going to be some uncomfortable stuff. He said in an interview with, I think it was with Screen Radar or with Vulture, where he said, I hope I piss everybody off with this movie. If they don't like them, F them, I don't care. If they don't like it, rather, F them, I don't care. Which is an interesting thing to say as a director, that you don't care if people like your movie or not. So it's an interesting approach, to be honest with you, especially where Netflix is struggling right now to get people to watch their content outside of Stranger Things. It's just kind of an odd thing for a director to say that. Yeah. I mean, they just laid
not enough people watching that K-drama, man. I'm telling you, if you get into the K-drama, you're spending 12 hours on Netflix in a day.
That's true. That's true.
That's me.
But they just laid off a bunch of people, Netflix did. So 150 employees and dozens of contractors and part-time workers. So those are because the money's not there. And so it seems odd to have a director be like, well, fuck it if you watch it or don't watch it. I don't care. It's like, you know, you want people to watch it, but we'll see. I mean, and it's based on Joyce Carol Oates' novel, which came out years and years ago, kind of exploring the turmoil that Marilyn was put through as a star, and Norma Jean as well coming through before she became Marilyn Monroe. So we'll see. It's got a right to exist. We'll see if it's good. It's probably not going to make me forget Marilyn Monroe or make me feel like she's Marilyn Monroe, but I'm going to watch an actress try to do that. So why not?
Yeah.
Especially someone we respect. You know?
Yeah. You know, like I think there's no doubt we're going to be rooting for the Armas in this.
Yes.
Regardless of like the initial reaction. I still hope, did you ever watch this TV show? It's a musical, but it was a TV show called Smash.
Oh yeah, on NBC.
Yeah, with Katharine McPhee
and Megan Hilty.
I would love one day for Megan Hilty to play a Marilyn Monroe.
Oh,
would love.
That is a great choice, Wendy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All these years later, I'm still waiting for it to happen.
Oh yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was fantastic.
Yeah.
I think ultimately, I don't want to ruin any of the parts of the show for you, but
okay.
They're kind of like workshopping the Bombshell musical.
Oh, so a Marilyn Monroe musical. Oh,
yeah. So essentially, it's Katharine McPhee's character and Megan Hilty's character wanting to get the lead role, and it's kind of them going through the motion of it all. So the both of them, you know, get to perform sort of as Marilyn at one point in the show.
Right.
And that's all I'll say. I'm keeping it really, really vague. But when Megan gets her spotlight, wow.
Really? Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. I guess I'll have to watch that.
It's a good music. It's a good show.
Yeah. And she's a very well-known voiceover actress as well. She's fantastic, Megan Hilty. So, all right. But I'm my final word on this is that if you want to do a Marilyn Monroe film, you've got to make it clear to the actress. You got to put on weight. You got to look. You got to achieve what. Look at Christina Hendricks, right? Christina Hendricks is essentially what Marilyn Monroe looked like. That's essentially the same body type. Right? The hourglass, the larger breasts, the hips.
She's gorgeous.
She's gorgeous. That's where you need to go with Marilyn. And if you're not willing to go that far with Marilyn, then I'm not going to 100% buy you as Marilyn Monroe, because that's so essential. Not just all the stuff she went through and acting, all that. To understand the sexuality of Marilyn, how she made men fall to pieces in front of her, you have to find somebody who really conveys that and exudes that. And I think, of course, Anna de Armas is, of course, very gorgeous, incredibly sexy.
Oh yeah,
but in a different way than Marilyn was, So I just all right. Where are we off to next year, Wendy?
I guess from one blonde to another. We're going to take a look at our first look at Ryan Gosling as Ken in Greta Gerwig's Barbie movie.
Wow.
Look at the jean jacket, the cut-off sleeves, the bleach blonde hair, leaning up against the hot pink pillar that is probably Barbie's dream house.
Yeah, probably.
I bet you it's like Margot Robbie. You know how there's that picture of her? It's probably him like watching her pull up to her dream house mansion in her dream car. And he's like, "Hey, Barbie." "Hey, Ken."
Yeah. Look at that. I mean, one more thing. I mean, one thing to look at here. Look at his underwear has his name on it, which I think is genius.
Instead of the Calvin Klein?
Instead of Calvin Klein, just Ken. Which
iconic. You know they do this on the doll too.
Oh.
If Ken
really?
had undergarments, they probably, because Barbie stuff has Barbie on it. It says her name on it. So like if she had a suitcase, if she had anything, it would say Barbie. So like why wouldn't Ken have like, Ken stuff?
Yeah.
It's incredible. He looks like a freaking action figure.
Yeah.
With the chocolate bar he's got going on. It brought me back to Emma Stone talking to him when she saw him in Crazy Stupid Love. She's like, "What are you, airbrushed or something?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's what it looks like to me."
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's airbrushed. I'm just saying it's like perfectly sculpted and like how.
He probably had to work really. I mean, he's 41, ladies and gentlemen. That is not.
No, he's not.
It's a tough age. That's a tough age to be losing, either getting into that kind of shape. Yeah, he's 41, right?
What? He's 41. November 12th, 1980.
So he is 41, right? Yeah, he's 41.
He'll be 42 this year.
He'll be 42 this year. That's
he just looks so young.
Yeah, that's Hollywood living, man. You got the right people giving you the skin products, working out the whole nine. So to me, I think it's a fascinating thing to see him looking this way, and how they're going to make it work in the story is going to be interesting to see as well. Because I've been reading that there are going to be multiple Kens, because Simu Liu is in this. He's in multiple Barbies. Issa Rae is in this. America Ferrera is in this. So are we getting a world with multi-ethnic Barbies, multi-ethnic Kens? And I've heard sexual orientations are going to be kind of fluid with some of the characters here. So this is going to be a very interesting experiment for Greta Gerwig to do with Margot Robbie to bring this film to life. So apparently, I saw some people pushing back on this picture saying this is so stereotypical. Why are they going this route? If he is bisexual, why does he have to be like a twink, as the homosexual community might say, in the approach to him? But we don't know. This is just a picture. We don't know what it's going to be, what his role is going to be, what his essence and energy is going to be in the film. So it's just a picture. So I like the picture. I think it's a good way to kind of get people to understand. And Mattel is a producer here, so they're not going to be like, great, make fun of our characters. They're going to be like, you can make fun to a line and then make sure they have humanity and whatever. So,
well, the clothing looks like it's from a specific period, like early 90s, late 80s, kind of like that cutoff jean pop collar look. I don't know. I didn't really have a Ken doll growing up. I only had Barbies. So I didn't get the dream house. I didn't get the dream horse. I didn't get the dream car. I wasn't allowed any of that. Just the Barbie.
Your mom's like, you get the Barbies and that's it.
You know what she bought me as my first Barbie? Business Barbie. She had a suitcase and a calculator.
If you've heard the stories about Wendy's mom like I have, there's just such perfect symmetry in that being the first Barbie she
got. And it's funny, it never dawned upon me until I look back at later as an adult, after you live through the trauma of like immigrant parents, and you're like, oh God, you will be a doctor or a lawyer and all your toys will reflect that.
Yeah. There's no beach house. You're not taking vacations.
You don't need that. Why do you need extra clothes for the Barbie?
You got to work.
She's not real.
She's not real.
She's not real.
Imagine it. So good shots. We'll see what ends up being the story overall, but good shots there. All right, what else we got here, Wendy?
Let's talk about, we started the show today with sequels. Let's talk about another sequel is getting a romantic release date. Dirty Dancing, you guys. Wow. The Dirty Dancing. We're now getting a sequel. This was confirmed apparently to be in development at CinemaCon back in April.
Yes.
I don't know if you were. What was your immediate reaction to that? Do you like the original Dirty Dancing?
I have never seen it, which is something that my girlfriend, she wants to start a podcast called I Told You So, where she makes me watch movies that she loved that I've never seen. And top of the list is Dirty Dancing. That's like her favorite show. I remember one day we did a 50-question movie trivia. She got them all right. It was insane. I had
So
no idea how
iconic.
much she loved
You
that.
would love Dirty Dancing.
You
You
think
would
so?
love it. Oh my
Really?
God.
Really?
Don't put baby in the corner.
Okay. I mean, it's got Swayze and Orbach and
Yes.
Cynthia Rhodes, who I really like. So, you know, okay, all right.
Yeah.
But I saw Dirty Dancing Havana Nights because I was like, Diego Luna, I got to support
Don't talk
him.
about that. We don't talk
He's a-
about. You
he's
can't
a-
talk about the sequel.
He's a Latino, I got to support him.
Okay, true.
It's set in Cuba. I got to watch this.
Did
Plus
you like that one?
I liked Romola Garai, and who was the lead in the movie with him. I liked their chemistry. The usage of Patrick Swayze I thought was really terrible. By the late great Patrick Swayze, because they turn him into some kind of dancer who's teaching the old ladies how to dance. But I thought there were elements of that worked. It didn't 100% work. And then I didn't see the most recent one. And then there was a TV show that I just happened to stumble upon recently, a reality show where they were taking celebrities or low-level celebrities and having them learn the Dirty Dancing stuff, and then they were competing with the
like
moves.
The Lift.
Yes.
Hard.
It was called Dirty Dancing is Not Easy or something like that, and it was on Fox, and all these people were involved in it. It was really weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder what you would think of Dirty Dancing Havana Nights after you watch the original. I think it'll give you a little bit of context.
You might be right.
Yeah, because they meet at a country club.
Right.
Baby's family is the guest. Yeah, and he's the entertainment / dance teacher.
Right.
Sort of like you know how you'd have like the fun activities director, and then they like, oh, at this time you can go and learn this or whatever. Like it was, you know, stuff like that.
Right.
So
Okay.
you gotta watch it. I fully support Lady Outlaw's decision to want to do a podcast just so you can watch Dirty Dancing. You gotta watch it. It's so good.
She also wants me to watch Labyrinth, which I've never seen. So a bunch
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
Who are you?
For 7 seasons of the Schmodown, I was so scared they were going to ask me a Labyrinth question, and they never did. But I was always like,
if you ever do a special competition for like a charity or something like that, watch those Under the Wheel slices. Dirty Dancing, the original, the Labyrinth.
Yeah, the Labyrinth. I'd be shut out. For that one.
You'd be like, I don't know, multiple choice.
But yeah, I mean,
anyways,
this is what's the story here? They're going to set this in the 90s. Is that correct, Wendy? Is that what I'm reading here?
That's what I'm reading as well. So she's going to be back to praise her role. And I want to embrace that, but we know Patrick Swayze can't be in it. So I wonder what they're going to say and do with his character, Johnny. Right. And it's been like, I can't believe she hadn't really been in a Dirty Dancing sequel until now.
Right.
Which is crazy to me. So I don't know, because it says here, as a quote from Levine, the original Dirty Dancing has always been one of my favorite films. I never imagined I would direct the sequel. Through co-writing it, I fell in love with the characters, new and old, the world of 1990s Catskills, New York, and the music, which will range from songs from the original movie to 90s hip-hop.
Yeah, see, so let's address that. First of all, Jennifer Grey, she's been in the news because she wrote a memoir, a biography, and name dropped a number of people. She was married. People don't know that she was married to Agent Coulson for like 19 years, Clark Gregg, and they recently got divorced. So this idea, and you can't bring Swayze back because they kind of brought Swayze back, I think, for all the sequels. And so since he's passed on, who do you turn to? You turn to Jennifer Grey, whose career never really took off never really continued after her nose surgery. And so, all right, give her a chance. It's not that she hasn't worked. She's worked consistently, but she's never been Jennifer Grey. You know what I'm saying? And so the idea of coming back to be a part of this is fascinating. If they're going to set it 30 years later, so remember the first film was in the 1960s, I think. And so this will be in the 1990s. Here's my concern. And I think Jonathan Levine is a damn good director. I loved 50-50. I thought that was a really good film. And I think he did Warm Bodies as well. And I thought that was a really nice film. So really good at directing the smaller stuff. But when you mention 90s hip hop and all 4 of your writers are white, the director is white, then to me, I get concerned. All right. It's not that you can't bring in a black choreographer to get, of course you can. But
Right.
why can't that black choreographer, or can't you bring in a black producer? Can't you bring in a producer of color or a writer of color who's going to come in there and kind of update it for the 1990s? And I think that's where the problem lies for me. And Lionsgate producing it is another problem. Lionsgate is not known for producing great films necessarily. So I get concerned with the combo of the two elements coming through for this as a sequel. But like I said, I haven't seen the original, so I don't have the emotional connection that others might have. Just from the outside, looking and hearing this, initially I think it's a great idea. But then these other things around it, I think, concern me a little bit.
Yeah, it does concern me because, and I get, if they're putting it in this time period and that music is the popular one, then they probably, should definitely incorporate it. But it seems very far away from the original Dirty Dancing.
Oh, good point.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't think we're gonna try. They're gonna try to like exactly replicate the magic that was the original Dirty Dancing, because time has passed and Johnny isn't here. So how do you establish that? I am curious. So the theatrical release date as of now is February 9th, 2024.
Yeah. Wow.
So they're definitely
a ways off. Yeah.
Putting that in the a very romantic release time indeed, just in time for Valentine's Day.
Yeah. I like Mr. Yasman saying, is Vanilla Ice going to be coming in for the soundtrack? I don't know. 90s hip hop. Bring it on.
90s hip hop.
Bring it on. Yeah, there you go. Wendy, let's see. I don't see any stream. You guys have been light on the stream. No Streamlabs, no bits, no cheers. Come on, people. I thought we're having a nice show here. But let's take a quick break and jump into what's trending right after this. Right, Wendy?
Yeah.
Since that's free music, I think I'm just going to get a track and have it playing underneath the whole time while we're doing it.
That'd be so fun. Oh my gosh.
Right? It's a free track, so I should get on to play in a loop.
Yes.
Let's jump into what we got here. This is some surprising news here if you're leading with what I think you're leading with.
I am leading with what I'm leading with. I got scared and I got worried and I almost texted Laura, but she wasn't freaking out on her Instagram, so I was like, okay, I think she's okay. But she was the first person I think of because she is the most army of our army.
Right.
BTS, who recently just released Proof, they're kind of like hottest hits album in a sense.
Yeah.
They just announced their hiatus and that they will be focusing on their solo projects.
Okay.
They've been together for 9 years, and I think that's 9 years as a group, not counting how many years they were in training. So their friendship goes beyond that. And as their leader, Namjoon, said, while they've accomplished incredible feats as a band, the members will still need to develop and mature as individual people and artists. And so he says this, and this was coming from J-Hope, I think we should spend some time apart to learn how to be one again. And he says, I hope you don't see this as a negative thing and see it as a healthy plan. And I think with BTS will become stronger that way. I don't think, aside from little solo songs here and there, I don't really think too many of them have like completely done really solo albums or mini albums or things like that. We're seeing the girl group from JYP Twice is slowly doing that right now. Blackpink, almost all the members have had a solo. But BTS, I think the knee-jerk reaction was, oh my God, they're breaking up. Oh no. Clutch all of your BTS stuff quick. I think for as long as they have been together as a band, I think their bond is incredibly strong. You don't make it through training without that bond. Like training is really, really hard in the world of K-pop. Right. So, and they've endured, like they said, so much, all the hard practices, and touring and hard work and writing new albums. So they've been doing this as a unit. And I think they should be able to have the time to, one, take a break. They really work way too hard. And why not let them pursue their solo careers? We saw Suga did his, he produced it for Psy,
Oh yeah,
which
that was
like
great.
it's such a fun song, such a fun
Yeah.
vibe. I don't know if you've seen any of Psy's, a quick segue. I don't know if you've seen any of Psy's like outdoor concerts performing that song
no.
without Suga.
No.
You got to see the crowd.
Really?
It's like a wave of people just jumping the whole time. I've never seen crowds go so wild. It's incredible. Like every performance, like Psy says one word and the crowd's like, "Wah!" So I am excited for their solo activities.
Okay.
I think it's going to be fun to see what kind of creative things are born out of them being solo. And then when they do come back and give us a comeback as the group, it's going to be the biggest comeback. I mean, all their comebacks have been huge, but that's going to be like a big comeback. But first, let the boys take a break. Let them live their own lives. And they're older now. They don't need to be living in the dormitory anymore. I don't even think they're living together at this point. But usually for K-pop artists, like from trainee onto even, you know, after they debut, they stay together in the dormitory as a group. And there's a lot of them. So it's a lot of being on top of each other. And I think as people mature, we, you know, value our own time and our own space.
Yeah.
And I love for them to get that.
Yeah, and I think you nail on the head right at the end there, Wendy, this idea of needing space. They're getting older. As you get older, you want to kind of spread your wings a little bit. And we've seen it with the girl groups where they kind of do their solo things. So why not let them, like Blackpink, they got some solo stuff. The other groups have some solo stuff. So why not let them do their solo stuff and explore what they can do? I mean, there's only so far you can go before the company itself says, hey, you're too old now. You can't do this anymore. So it's good that they're giving them the space to kind of create the possibilities of life after BTS and lay the groundwork for it, lay the foundation for it, and explore it more and see where they're at. And maybe some will want to come back and maybe some won't. I don't know. And so that's going to be very curious to see. But, you know, I always think it's a good thing to take a break, kind of take, especially if you've been successful for a long time, take a break, smell the roses, enjoy the money, because that's going to also influence you when you come back to create different music or new music or great music, like something like, because your mind's a little more relaxed, you're more free, you're more aware of things. And I imagine that's a good thing here for them as well. And you know what? It moves them out of the way a little bit for these other groups who are coming in and taking, wanting to get a little bit of the shine from the K-pop bands. So I think it also works as well, you know. So people forget Psy is a former K-pop boy band guy. So it takes time, and you know, people come in and out and move away and move in, and so this makes sense for me.
Oh, we have some breaking news via the chat. MK Songbird, thank you so much for putting that out there. So let's go ahead and visit Deadline. On this. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, I'm gonna send it to you right now in our show notes. You guys are watching breaking news happen on the show. Okay, here we go. So the title of the article is, via Deadline, Aladdin director Guy Ritchie teams with Disney and AGBO on live-action Hercules.
Okay.
Oh, I was not expecting. I feel like I recall the AGBO and Hercules. I feel like...
Can you tell me what that means?
AGBO is the production company owned by the Russos.
Okay.
They've produced films like, what's that Chris Hemsworth one?
Extraction.
Yes. They also did Cherry. And
21
Gray Man is coming out. 21 Bridges.
Yeah.
The Gray Man that is coming out.
The Gray Man. Yes.
I believe that's also AGBO.
Okay.
So
wow.
That is
So is this for Disney?
It's for because it's live action Disney.
Okay. So AGBO working with Disney to do a live action version of their animated film Hercules, with the Russo brothers producing, Guy Ritchie directing, and Dave Hammond writing. Is that correct? Or Dave Callahan?
Yeah.
They're in the process of hiring writers after Dave Callahan wrote a first draft. Okay. Fascinating. So here's my reaction. I love Hercules. That's one of my favorite Disney animated films. It appeals to me,
the
right?
Gladiator.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 0 to hero.
Just like
Come
that.
on now. There's so much about that movie that speaks to me and my own story and my own struggles. And so, each of us has our Disney film that connects to us. For me, Tarzan and Hercules are two big movies in my life at the time. And the music on both are fantastic. And the story on both are fantastic. And once again, it's about, someone who's counted out or not seen as part of the group, who fights to be seen as part of the group, fights to achieve success. And so there's connections. And I love that with Hercules. Plus, you've got that great character of Meg in the film, and Hades with James Woods before he went off the deep end. I love seeing him voicing Hades. So this is interesting. And look, I have to give space for this to believe in this, because it's the Russo brothers. I loved Extraction.
Yes.
I didn't like Cherry, but I liked the Russo brothers. And I liked Guy Ritchie's version of Aladdin. So
they also produced Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh yes, there we go. Yes, they also did that. That's right, with the Daniel. So to me, I'm like, okay, my initial reaction is trepidation, but also I got to give them space to see if it's going to be good. And who are they going to cast as Hercules? Who are they going to cast as Hades? Who is going to be Meg? Are they going to keep some of the songs? Because that Meg song is fucking great. I love that song.
I don't want them to not give us songs in this one.
Right.
If I don't get the muses, I will riot.
Oh yeah, the muses.
I will riot. You better cast all the ladies in the muses. If that's not the opening song, I'm gonna be mad about it, because I love that so much. I think it's so iconic to the storytelling. I don't know. I am not super enthusiastic about this new. I am fine with the AGBO part of it.
Yeah, of course.
I think the Guy Ritchie part is kind of that's what's throwing me off.
Really? You didn't like the Aladdin?
I liked parts of it.
Okay.
I just don't. I don't. I'm trying to gather my thoughts.
Yeah. Also, Dave Callahan is the writer of Wonder Woman 1984 and Shang-Chi. So,
okay.
That's the first draft. He's not the person who is going to write it. Finally, they're bringing writers in.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah. So, I like this idea, Rocha. What if we get Hugh Grant as Hades? I could buy that. Hugh Grant's kind of turned on the prick charm over the last few years in some of his films, so I could see
someone who's like good at fast talking.
Yeah,
like sly and cool, because that's Hades.
Who could be Hercules though?
Depends on what age they want to put Hercules at. How old do they want to put Hercules?
Jason Statham with more died Zeus.
Give me Zac Efron.
No.
Give me Dacre Montgomery. Can he sing?
Oh yeah, Dacre Montgomery could be a nice choice. I like that choice.
Can he sing?
I don't know if he can sing. They all can sing.
They all can sing.
That's all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, get all three of the women from Hamilton to be the muses. That would be perfect. Bring them back together in
the Schuyler sisters. Done. Sold.
I liked it. Chris Hemsworth is Hercules. Oh no, he's a little too long in the tooth, I think.
He's too busy being Thor, I think.
Yeah.
I would see Chris Hemsworth in anything, though.
I agree.
This is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
This is very interesting. I mean, Aladdin did crack the $1 billion gross.
Yeah. How crazy is that? Yeah.
It's Aladdin. Yeah. I think my problem with Aladdin is, while I really liked a lot of it, I think sometimes, and this is what happens when you take a very iconic live action movie and you make it animated and you make a live action, and you want to take some license to it to make it a little bit different, a little bit more unique than just copy and paste of the original, which is probably why I liked Lion King so much. It's literally copy and paste. I'm like, this is what I'm here for. But I also like the Jungle Book and how they did that.
Oh, Jungle was great. Yeah.
So yeah, TBD. Come back to me on that.
You talk about her. Who's Meg? Who's going to play Meg? Meg is not easy. There are actresses who can be sassy and strong, but also show the vulnerability that Meg has.
I think in my head, and only because she's covered the song a number of times, I think Ariana Grande. But I don't know if she wants to do anything like that. Yeah. She's got the high ponytail ready. That's her look.
Right.
But there's plenty of actors, also unknown actors, that they can explore.
That's true.
There's plenty. There's so many talented people out there, you know.
Oh,
you stop that right now.
Oh,
yes.
What if it's her and Tom? Tom playing Hercules, Tom Holland playing Hercules.
Oh God, it's so hard to say no to like anything these two are involved. They're so good on screen together.
He could be the skinny Hercules,
and then so cute.
Hercules becomes the bigger Hercules. That's someone else.
So cute. Gosh, I don't know. I feel like they could look for unknown talent for this.
Possibly.
You know,
who plays the Danny DeVito character?
Danny DeVito.
Yeah, he's the one that trains Hercules. The little the satyr. I think that's a John Rocha part to say. I mean, Jesus, Herc, what are you doing? I mean, come on.
I want to audition for Panic in Pain and Panic. That's me all the time. Panic. Just a ball of anxiety.
I love those two guys. They're great. Yeah, so very interesting stuff.
I just want the songs in this one. I don't want them to take that. I worry about them taking it away. But Guy Ritchie didn't take that away.
He didn't.
But didn't we read somewhere? Gosh, okay, now I'm trying to think.
Caro did for Mulan, but not
Guy Ritchie for that film. That's the only film so far to not have musical elements in it in the ways of the characters breaking out in song.
Right.
I feel like once upon a time that they said that they're, or did I talk about saying maybe I wouldn't want? Why would I say that?
Yeah, did you say once upon a time you wouldn't want a Hercules, a live Hercules?
That I wouldn't want the songs in it, but why would I say that?
I don't know why you would say that.
I'm so obsessed with the songs. I'm so obsessed with the songs.
I can go the distance. At least, which is at least they won't. At least I won't say I love.
Yeah. And the muses.
Yeah, the muses.
Right? I just play that randomly out of nowhere sometimes.
The music.
I'll just have them to play their songs. It's so good. It's excellent. Please have the muses in it. Mr. Yasman 300 says, have Russell Crowe as Zeus again.
Crossover.
Yes, do it.
Zero to hero, no time flat. Yeah, of course.
Oh, now I can't unsee Zendaya.
Zendaya's perfect.
Oh my gosh, Disney. She's already a part of. Yeah. Wait, is she a part of the Disney family yet?
I mean, Meg is tall and slender and has the hair, the kind of weird hair.
She is. She can play the. She can kind of play that. I don't need. I'm not a damsel in distress. I can see her hitting those lines, like having an attitude about it, but also like, you know, do the whole. I'm not gonna protect my heart. I'm gonna fall in love.
Right.
And then kind of unwillingly double cross. Oh, I can see her do it all.
She had great chemistry with Efron with that song in Greatest Showman.
She's such a great
which was also kind of a introspective song and not wanting to give her heart, written in the stars.
Oh no.
All right.
Well, you know what? Keep the songs in it and we can talk.
Okay. Oh no. Yeah, we said Wendy already said that, Jay Mister. Yeah, she's thinking that. So the reunion of Efron and Zendaya, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, Greatest Showman. Take two.
Yeah. Efron's doesn't have a good. I mean, Firestarter was terrible. So I don't know if you want to. We'll see. Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of choices, as Wendy said, both known and unknown that they can play around with.
Yeah. A lot of people out there that can play either role, but
yeah. For sure.
I'm on Team Zendaya.
Yeah, I like
for sure.
That's a nice choice.
Hey, I know we're running a little short on time. I do want to hit this next topic.
Yeah.
And then we can maybe hit this real quick and then move towards this part.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Right.
I saw this news. I'm not even a super big wrestling fan, but I saw this news on Twitter and I was like, Rocha, what are your thoughts? Vince McMahon is taking leave, to say it lightly. His daughter, Stephanie McMahon, is going to step in the interim.
Yeah.
That seems to sit well with everybody.
Well, listen, here's the deal. And if I didn't have a wrestling show, I would have gone live this morning talking about this because this is big. This is massive. Yeah. Because he is stepping away because there was a Wall Street Journal investigative report that found out that he was having an affair with a woman on the staff. He had hired her $100,000 as an executive assistant. He upped her pay to $200,000 once the affair started. And then he signed. And then when she left, he made her sign an NDA and paid her $3 million so she wouldn't reveal the details of their relationship. Now, his counsel and his lawyers are pushing back, saying this was consensual. There was nothing negative about this. They did it, but the board has questions because apparently there have been also other reports in tandem with this report that he was passing her to another member of the staff, John Laurinaitis, who, by the way, is the stepfather of Nikki and Brie Bella. The Bella twins. Yes, and was having sex with hers too. So there's these accusations that are out there, these allegations that are out there. And so Vince McMahon this morning announced that he was stepping aside from his duties as CEO, but he's not stepping aside as the creative CEO. So he's still in charge of storylines and whatever while this investigation is going on. They installed Stephanie, who had been removed from her position because she wasn't good as a branding officer at WWE, and they put her now as the interim CEO. And now apparently, here's the other twist that came about an hour ago or an hour and a half ago. Vince is going to show up tonight live on WWE SmackDown on Fox and issue a statement. So why? So there's
on his own show.
On his own show. So I have so many questions. We're going to talk. We're going to break it down.
Are you going to live watch it?
What's that?
Are you going to live watch it?
No. Wow. That's not a bad idea on Twitch. Maybe. But we're going to break it down, everything that's happening on Strong Style at noon on Sunday live. We're not doing a Saturday show. It'll be live at noon. But this whole thing, I have so many thoughts because I'd never thought in my lifetime to see Vince step away for a little bit. Installing Stephanie, I think, is a face-saving situation because there's accusations around women. Here's an easy choice. Let's move Stephanie into the interim CEO and what have you. But she's got her own issues. There have been a lot of allegations of how she's treated female wrestlers, not in a sexual way, but certainly in a complete utter disregard for them, and how certain people have been treated under Stephanie, that she can be quite difficult to work with. There's all kinds of stories around that. So I think this is face-saving by the company to put a woman in charge, easy to put a daughter in charge. And this is like, well, if my daughter's in charge, I'm not far away from being in charge myself as the father. So it's kind of they're kind of walking the line here, trying to play it safe rather than making a strong decision to move him out. Giving him airtime to say God knows what live, I think is a really odd decision. How many people faced with these accusations get to go on live TV and deliver their rebuttal or their defense or anything? Like, why not just issue a statement, sit back and let it be done? Why are you going on TV? That I have questions about. And why is the board letting him do that? I have questions about. So yeah.
That's this is huge.
Yes. Very, very big.
It is huge.
Yeah, and there's a lot more to come for sure. You know, and some of the female wrestlers have Sasha Banks, who was in The Mandalorian. She left. She walked away a few weeks ago, and now the rumors are that she's been released. Naomi walked away.
Done?
Done. She's done with the WWE. She got
what
released.
the heck?
Yeah, that's the rumors, right? Fightful reported it, but they haven't 100% confirmed it yet. But that's the rumors. Naomi, we don't know what's going on with Naomi, who also walked away. 2 women of color walked away from some of the treatment. Toni Storm, a very famous Australian wrestler who is now in AEW, she walked away and quit right after an event because she couldn't take it anymore, because they proposed a storyline. Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, Bruce Pritchard proposed a storyline where the other woman in the storyline with her ripped off all her clothes to her underwear.
Oh.
So that is, perverted. Those are old white male perverts who are using these young women for their own sexual whatever needs. And I think that's where the mistake is happening, all this. And so I hope this signals some real change for the WWE. And Vince is fucking gone once and for all. Look, it was great, but he also did some really nefarious shit through his time with the WWE. So we shall see, but it's a massive deal. I don't think this is the only NDA either, Wendy. So this is going to be a hell of a report and a hell of an investigation.
Yeah. I wonder what he's going to say. And I wonder what things are, usually when they report stuff like this, then there's interviews and then there's multiple things that come out.
Yeah.
Very curious. Yeah.
We shall see. All right. What are we on to next?
Let's go ahead and move on to what is coming soon and what we're recommending.
Yeah, let's do it.
So you saw these 2 movies. I haven't seen it yet. I'm seeing Elvis on Monday.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Elvis, 2 hours and 40 minutes. Get ready for that.
Okay. Oh,
It,
okay.
yeah, but it zips by because I mean, there's so much story to tell. If you're an Elvis fan, you're gonna love this. I just feel like you're gonna love this. Maybe there'll be the occasional Elvis fan who doesn't, but I think if you're an Elvis fan, you're gonna love this. And I love this is his best film since Romeo and Juliet, in my opinion. I know some people like Moulin Rouge. I don't like it as much as other people, so I go all the way to Romeo and Juliet. It's the best film since then that he's done. And Austin Butler, I don't be surprised if he doesn't get nominated for Best Actor. Don't be surprised if he gets nominated rather for Best Actor, because this performance is a virtuoso performance, taking it from when he's a young man starting out to when he's an old man and well, not old, 42 years old and dying in Vegas. So it's his whole entire life from kid to death. And so it's a hell of a story. Great music when they lay it in. Some updates, some modern rap and stuff is kind of weaved in to kind of give you the feeling of how Elvis was experiencing the music when he first discovered it, to kind of influence his sound and his style. And all of that plays into it. The costumes are great. The period look of everything is fantastic. And there's a great tragedy throughout the film hanging over it. And Tom Hanks is fantastic as Colonel Tom Parker. And you'll recognize some other Australian actors. David Wenham is in it. Richard Roxburgh is in it from Moulin Rouge, the villain in Moulin Rouge. So there's a number of actors here who he uses from his stable of Australian actors that pop up in the film that are great to see. So overall, just a fantastic film. And it zips. And you're seeing, how Baz likes to jump, move around and mess with your eyes. He is doing that all through the film. So yeah, absolutely great.
Wouldn't be a Baz Luhrmann film without that.
Yeah. Well,
signature.
Yeah. And here's another thing too. Jeremy's makes it seems he did lift a lot of things from Black culture, but he still had talent, could sing and make it amazing. Yeah. And they address that in the movie. They make a really, really strong point of showing how he grew up in the Black neighborhoods. He grew up in Black neighborhoods. So he had exposure to this kind of music. So yes, you can argue he lift or stole or whatever you want to say. The man was influenced by the music. He put his spin on it. It worked for white, Black, whatever audiences, and he became a superstar. So you can complain that Big Mama and other people got their stuff stolen from them. Fine. But, Elvis came in and was a success, and he made some awesome music and was a star. People want to get hung up on that. I think you have to go deeper. In 1957, a Jet reporter from the Black publication Jet went on set, interviewed Elvis, and Elvis was nothing but complimentary about his experiences growing up in Memphis, around the Black communities, around Black culture, and he's always used Black musicians, Black singers in all of his music. So, it's people may say, like Bill Clinton, some people say Bill Clinton's first Black president. Really? I think Elvis is in a way kind of tantamount to that for the Black community, but I understand the frustration and anger around it. I just think people should have a little bit more of an open mind, and the film addresses it. Which I think is good. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait to see it. I'm seeing it in Screen X. Ooh. So I'm very excited to see all that stuff expand out.
Yeah.
How was we know Austin basically crushes it as Elvis in this one. How was Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks is good. He's your narrator. That's what I'll tell you.
Okay.
He's your narrator. I mean, I don't think that's a spoiler. Because he does it in the trailer. He's your narrator in the movie. So I think what they give him to do is incredible. And whatever your issues are about the accent, that shit goes away quickly because it's Tom Hanks. He so lives the character that you just dial into it. You just absolutely dial into it and let him take you to where he's taking you in the story. And it doesn't mean that only he is around for the events. There are events that he's not around for and events that he is around for. So you're getting as full a picture as you can in 2 hours and 40 minutes. And there's a show-stopping moment in the 1968 comeback special when it happens in the movie. You know exactly what I'm talking about when you see the movie and that moment happens. It'll absolutely knock you on your ass. And I think that's the moment where Austin Butler, I think people will nominate him for an Oscar off that moment. So,
I mean, award season's coming.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. I feel like there's the name's going to be floating around for sure. And then you saw Black Phone. You don't love horror movies. Are you okay?
I loved Black Phone. I thought it was, I like the psychological horror stuff because that's real. That's relatable. That's something I can understand. That's more chilling to me than Jason or whatever.
Okay.
But I saw the Black Phone at CinemaCon, and I thought Scott Derrickson did an excellent job with this movie. And in comparison to what I didn't like with Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, Scott Derrickson, I think, should have done that sequel. I think he'd have done a way better sequel. And seeing this movie is a way better directed film than Multiverse of Madness. So I think this is one that people are really going to enjoy. And that kid, as great as Ethan Hawke is, as the unsettlingly insane killer, that kid is great in the movie, and his friend as well. The kid and his sister. I'm sorry, the kid and his sister are excellent in the film. So I can't recommend it enough for those two performances as well. So yeah, and it's chilling and it's scary and all of it. And people, we find out all the time about kids or adults being kept in rooms hidden in basements for years.
Yeah.
So that shit happens. That's what adds an extra element of horror to this film. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to both. I'll probably watch Black Phone by myself, but Dustin is coming with me to see the Elvis movie. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
Very excited. And then for our recommendation, let's see here. I watch so much K-drama, and this is the first time in a long time that I stepped away from the K-drama and started a C-drama, which stands for Chinese drama. And this one is this came out April of 2022, so relatively new. It's called Delicacy's Destiny.
Ooh.
And it's about a very young but very talented cook named Ling Xiaoxiao, and she is determined to be the first royal chef in the world. Where she was so determined. She knows how good she is because she worked so hard. She left this kind of, it was an okay job. She left the restaurant she was working at, and she just decided to sort of audition into the palace kitchen, and was successful, but she couldn't quite make it to the emperor's kitchen.
Okay.
But she was assigned to the prince's kitchen. So that's where a little bit of the romance play comes in.
Okay.
So it's really, really good. It's a little bit on the cheesier side, but if you enjoy a good food porn, I'm hungry every episode. Every episode, because they do the slow motion. They spend a lot of time on food, 50% character, 50% food.
Wow.
Don't go into it hungry.
Where's this at?
Disney Plus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's cool.
Go ahead and give it a check. I'm almost done with it.
I love it. I love it all coming in. Anything else you want to recommend, or is that it?
That is it. And the one of the reasons why I decided to watch a C-drama, because I started to, I don't want to lose my Chinese any more than I already am, because I don't get to practice it.
Right.
I don't have any people to speak it here every day. I can't call my mom every single day.
Right.
So she'll get tired of me. She's like, "What are you doing?" So I think one of the best ways to kind of keep it fresh is to watch C-drama. To hear it. And I'm also putting the subtitle in Chinese so I don't lose my reading, because that's starting to go.
Oh, yeah.
And people forget. They're like, "Oh, you were born in Taiwan." I'm like, right, I'm fluent conversationally.
Right.
But my knowledge of that language, I left in the 4th grade.
Yeah.
So I stopped learning it at the 4th grade level. So it hasn't I don't think I have a college writing skills, when it comes to Chinese. So this will hopefully help.
Wow. Oof, that's big.
There you go.
That's big. All right. So my recommendations here are Father of the Bride, which is out now. The Andy Garcia one with Gloria Estefan. It's all the Latino version of it. It's actually really sweet. I thought it was going to be terrible. It's sweet. I might do a review for it on the channel over the weekend. It's on HBO Max. And
nice.
Yeah, and Peaky Blinders season 6, the final season of Peaky Blinders, up on Netflix now. Go and enjoy it. Go and have some fun. It is such a cool fucking season. So if you love Peaky Blinders, or if you haven't tried Peaky Blinders yet, go and watch Peaky Blinders from season 1 and then get to season 6, because it's only 6 episodes. It's excellent. Excellent. So highly recommend it if you haven't watched it yet. So there you go.
I'm going to watch both.
Sounds
great.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds
there
good.
You go.
All right.
That is the show.
There we go. That's the show. Thank you all so much for watching. I don't see any bits of Streamlabs, so we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this afternoon. If you're watching it later on YouTube, thanks for watching it on YouTube as well. Please remember to hit a like on this video and leave a comment down below as well, and share it on your social media with the hashtag The Jon and Wendy Show. Wendy, great to see you again. Please tell people where they can find you and what you got going on.
You can find my face on The Rock, Dwayne Johnson's Instagram, because they did what is it called? Like a collage, a mixed reaction of Black Adam, and me and Dustin's reaction was used as a part of it, as well as like the rejects and previewed and Struggle Nation and many other fellow reactors. So that was pretty cool. I told Rocha, I was like, I peaked. My face is seen in The Rock's Instagram.
Yes, that was awesome.
That means he has seen my reaction. Other than that, you can find me on my own Instagram, Wendy Lee Zaney, is just like my name down there, or on YouTube under The Movie Couple.
Oh, there you go. All right. Follow her there. As for me, you can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. The Outlaw Nation on Twitch for those of you watching, on YouTube. And for those of you watching now, youtube.com/Jon Rocha Says to go and follow and subscribe to me on my YouTube channel as well, as well as my other podcast, The Top 10, The Cinephiles, and The Geek Buddies, all out there for you to enjoy. We will have Geek Buddies Ms. Marvel Episode 2 review on Sunday, our spoiler review on Sunday. Our Kenobi episode is already up for episode 5 with the guest, with Laura Kelly joining us to talk about it and break it all down. So there you go. That's all the content going on. We love you madly. Don't forget Cinephiles at 5 p.m. PT on Sunday, talking about summer movies on the Cinephiles YouTube channel. And we are out of here. We love you. Take care of yourselves. Be well. We'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of the Jon and Wendy Show.
Bye.